It's the Force, Luke.
All right, we're good. It's live. So let's do the countdown. Three, two, one. Welcome to the Hunters Hub, the video game podcast born of the monster community. You are joining us for Monster Hunter Week because Sasha is gone. This is your host, Fortuan, joined by co-host Ace. How we doing tonight, buddy?
Pretty good. I did not get to nap today, so I might
Doze
start
off.
getting the sleepy look as the podcast episode goes on.
Okay. All right. Viewers on the Twitch may realize I actually have a different screen up there that is the meme thing we have that was going around Twitter with the video game favorite video games grid that was stolen from Monster Hunter, and then we have stolen it again. So we are going to be. I figured it was a good podcast topic, and we couldn't find another guest, so I pulled my brother Chauncey in. So how you doing?
Wonderful.
You guys are so
Glad to
enthused
be
today.
here. No, today's been pretty good. I didn't do much. It's just like the energy level's not high. Doesn't mean I'm
Yeah.
not happy.
Yep. All right. The Discord knows we are live. Okay, so we are going to go through this thing, and probably just chat a little like we normally do. I'm gonna be writing this stuff in live with my pen because that what you're seeing there is the art app that I usually use to do the art on my monitor. Oh, Ace, I wanted to show you this. Um, I got a new program installed on my keyboard. So
Oh,
it responds to anything that comes through my headset now. So, like, if you say something, you will see it appear on my keyboard.
so sort of like a reactive voice thing. Yeah. Oh, nice.
So it does it for music and like game music and stuff too.
That's cool.
So yeah, I was.
I don't know. Seeing it again, I think it's creepy.
Why? I can see when you're
I want
talking.
to. I want to see the vocal vibrations of you talking to me.
I am going deaf. I'm just preparing for the eventuality.
We'll have to get a fourth member who can do ASL.
Okay, that not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, because eventually I will go deaf, for sure. I feel like it. I feel like it's coming. Um. All right. So I wanted to start from the bottom because some of the more spicy ones are on top, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. So we'll just go down the list, and I'm just going to write these in, and we can talk about them. So left to right, bottom to top. It's a little weird, but Ace, favorite weapon for you in Monster Hunter?
Mm, uh, Probably overall would be Insect Glaive.
Insect glaive. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's probably that. I was thinking maybe it was a specific weapon, but I think general weapon's fine.
Yeah, and if we're going with the bad meme history of the Monster Hunter community, I am part French, so it fits.
I think we are too, actually.
One of our great grandmothers has a clearly French origin last name, so maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah. Excuse
Yeah,
my
no,
terrible handwriting on a computer.
I've just always enjoyed Insect Glaive since I came back from a hiatus in the series from Freedom Unite into 4 Ultimate and experiencing the Insect Glaive and obviously the Charge Blade, the Switch Axe. But Insect Glaive was always my favorite from that, and then when Generations came along and they added the Hunter Arts, the Insect Glaive coupled with Aerial became my instant favorite,
Mm-hmm.
and then that sort of carried over with the sequential games that came after. So
Okay. I mean, I can dig it. My answer is going to be weird because it's changed so much over the years. But I mean, for a majority of my Monster Hunter career, we're talking up until fourth generation was Hammer. So I get
Hmm.
it. I get changing it when you get back into it. Chance, where are you sitting at on this one?
If we're talking about weapon class, I have to say Insect Glaive because it is my favorite. Mostly, I like the little game of getting the essences, though it kind of drove me insane in Iceborne.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I really enjoy. I like the doing useful things, but maybe it doesn't look you're doing useful things when you're like, look, it shouldn't fight unless I have the red essence, so I need to get that. And playing with a bunch of different people in Iceborne, I could feel the ire sometimes of, what are you doing? I'm like, do you need me to be useful? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But the real answer would be, I would almost consider Prowler its own weapon class, and that, yeah, I want to be the
Prowler.
cat.
We'll do that. This is acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, freedom of movement is also a really big plus for the insect glaive for me, because you can
Yeah,
pole vault over attacks and dodge them if you
Mm-hmm.
get your
Yeah. Just
movement and patterns down enough.
yeah, the good old Morgue beam, not a danger to me. Just pole vault over it.
oh yeah, the Morgue beam. For listeners who don't know, the Morgue beam is our good buddy Morgue. Anytime there's a beam attack that sweeps left or right, apparently Morgue dies. And we turned this into a joke.
Alatreon did it. I think Nami kind of does it with a water beam.
Nami, Gravius
Hmm.
does it. In other games like
Vitalis,
Vitalis. Yeah. Yep.
which I'm waiting. I'm waiting. GameStop has released it, but they have not received the statue yet.
Oh, a Vitalis statue. The what do they call
Yeah.
them? The builders, something builders.
Yeah, the creator model, I think.
Creator model. There you go. Creator builder. It's all the same.
Yeah, it's figure builder for the tiny ones, and then the creator model. So I'm
So I
waiting
was
on that to come
entirely
through
wrong.
at some point.
Got it.
Not that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of the things. Like I think this is one of the playing it around the desk, but I think this is one of them.
Hmm.
Its wings here somewhere because it comes off,
And you have
Yeah.
small children.
and I have small children. Get in there. There you go. Ta-da! Fixed. Also at
Sadly,
my
he
desk,
was not included in the keychain
tiny Lego Pikachu.
line that I got.
All right. So, Insect Glaive, Prowler, and I think people can guess mine at this point. And this has only become a recent thing. Greatsword.
Mhm.
Fort, which is me.
I liked it a lot better in the older games, but with all the like charging up and stuff, no longer doing any hit and run to do meaningful damage. I just bleh.
Greatsword. We're going to do GS because people know what that is, and it's less writing. So, yeah, I fell in love with the Greatsword. It was actually my first No, it wasn't. It wasn't my first weapon. The heavy bowgun was, and I'd put 1,000 hours into heavy bowgun, and then I lost a save, and I said I'm not doing that again. So I went Greatsword and put 1,500 hours into it, and then, it was high school days, Monster Hunter 1, and then I did. I played Hammer everything since that, starting in number 2, and then I got back into. Was 4 Ultimate, and I got into Charge Blade because Charge Blade was super fun, and I kind of waffled between a couple weapons over the years between here and there, but I kind of landed on Greatsword in Generations Ultimate, and I stuck with it, and then we got to Rise, and I just love the Greatsword in Rise, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to be doing anything else anymore. I just love the modern style of how Greatsword works. And not just with the wire bugs. I really liked it in Generations Ultimate as well. We'll have to see what Monster Hunter 6 brings. I will, of course, try all the weapons as usual, but I may just stick with greatsword because I do like the giant, like, charge it up and hit. I very much enjoy that aspect of it. So, favorite weapon design, and I think this is catering to a specific weapon. I think is what it's going for.
I mean, I'd say right off the bat, I really love the Wyvern Ignition from Monster Hunter World.
Oh yeah, the Wyvern Ignition greatsword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
And then
the
I
rocket
always,
powered greatsword for
mm-hmm.
Wyvern Ignition. GS. Hey, that didn't look terrible. What about you, Chance? That's a good one. It's a really good one.
I had an answer, but then I remember there's joke weapons, and I think I have to go with popcorn.
Popcorn. Yeah. That's a good one. So popcorn is a giant corn on the cob, gun lance.
Straw hat as a shield.
Yeah. Giant straw
Gun lance
hat
is
as a
kinda
shield.
neat. It was like what, Generation 2 that we got it the first time?
Oh yeah, it was really early. My answer is actually also a joke weapon, and that's the frozen fish. The highest elemental greatsword. It's a joke because you don't want elements on greatswords as much as physical damage, but it exists and it's awesome. And it's a giant swordfish that you hold by its pointy end and slap people with a fish, and it's hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, the thing that you catch for it looks like a swordfish, but the weapon itself tends to look like a sailfish.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a bit of a difference, yes. Although laymen like me would kind of put them in the same boat. Haha, nautical jokes. No one's
I mean, if
laughing.
you're fishing and you catch both, you would put them in the same boat.
Okay. So Wyvern Ignition was specifically World, Popcorn was 2, and Frozen Fish I think has been in since 1. And
I think so.
it has appeared in I think every mainline game. I'm not sure about Try. But I know it was in Rise and World. So the Try is the only, and maybe 4 Ultimate. I don't know. So Wyvern Ignition is actually a cool one to talk about a little bit because that was the fan made weapon that got in, which is really cool. Like, I don't even remember the Rise fan made weapon. Don't even know what that was. I know it's in there. I don't know what it was. Yeah, see? None of us remember.
Was it the origami switch axe?
Yeah, it could have been. You might have been right. Yeah, I think it is.
I know for Iceborne, wasn't it the Black Eagle or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
The golden purple switch axe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a switch. Wait, no, charge blade.
Charge blade. Okay. See, the Wyvern Ignition is, to me, the most memorable fan-made weapon. It's hands down. Put rockets on a sword. It's slash fast.
Yeah, and I mean they did also have the I don't know, was it from like a different game? They had the hammer that was like a cosmonaut satellite or something like that. It was like a little red space capsule looking hammer that also had like an afterburner effect on it too.
Yeah, it's true. So, Chance, do we have anything more to say about popcorn?
I mean, it looks really neat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have any deep-seated, yay, it was a fan weapon or anything. Like, it's just kind of
It's
funny.
just a joke
We put a
weapon.
lot of hours
Yeah.
into the second generation games, and it is something I actually used on some of the, what were they, treasure quests?
Yeah, treasure hunting quests. Did you ever do those in Freedom Unite Ace?
Yeah.
They're fun, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got like half of them done on my PS Vita playthrough right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I still have to get like the flag raised on the
The
mountaintop
Snowy Mountain.
in the Snowy
Yeah.
Mountains.
Yeah. That one's
I
a little
also
tough.
am remembering. I'm also remembering how much I dislike having to find and remember the combo treasure items, where you have to
Yeah.
find one piece that's super rare to find, and then you have to find the other piece that's super rare to find.
Mm-hmm. And you could
And then,
potentially not get either, even though you're in the right spot.
or you could potentially find it right away, and then you go and fight the monster, and then you kill the monster, and then you carve its gem. And then you have to take everything back and donate it, and then you don't get the first rare piece that you found, but then you find the second piece scavenging. That happened a number of times.
Oh, that's rough. That's why I always killed the monster first and then went and searched everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, but I mean, that was a while ago that we played that. Like, we played 2008, maybe 2009 at latest is when we were playing Freedom Unite. I know I wasn't playing it anymore once I moved out, and that was May of 2009. So it's been a while. It's been a long while. All right. So favorite armor, and I do believe this is a specific armor set. I would say, or if you have a mixed set that you enjoyed.
Well, I'd have to say like the G rank of like usually really specifically in 4 Ultimate of like Gore Magala, Shigaru Magala, Rathalos, basically just anything that makes me look like I eat dragons for breakfast,
Yeah.
because they all sort of have that theme with the wings on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of disappointed by the Master rank Rathalos armor because it sort of has the wings, but they're not like as grandiose as they used to be. They're
Sure.
more just like frills.
Okay. I get it. So any of them? Do they have the wings?
Yeah, any of that makes me look like a human dragon hybrid, essentially.
Aren't these the ones that have the wings on the back and they kind of like have rubber, like they feel rubbery if you whip back and forth?
Yeah, they sort of look rubbery.
Yeah, I mean, Fatalis
like
and
the,
Iceborne has them for sure.
Yeah, and the Fatalis armor that you can put on your Palico too. Love seeing lobbies filled with mini Fatalises.
Yes, yeah. It's almost like the Wiggler, except scary. The Wiggler helmet,
Mm-hmm.
but scary. Yeah.
And then they've got the tiny hunter sword.
Yes, I love that. The tiny hunter hanging off of them. That was so funny. Like a little doll hunter that is
It
just
looked
the
like it was
weapon.
stabbing him on the back when you had it sheathed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looked like it was mounted. So yeah, any winged armor. That's a good answer. I like that one. Chance.
Basically anything that's not current era Rathian armor.
Old Rathian.
Because the skills that I loved were always on Rathian armor. And then fast forward to Rise, all of a sudden every skill I've ever loved has no meaning. Health up doesn't exist. Capture Guru, Detect, Psychic, all of that kind of... I probably put the Capture Guru in, but pieces of Psychic, Health up were always in Rathian.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the the general aesthetic. You're kind of like a knightly armor, but you've got some Rathian frills on it, so you're a little in that fantasy and kind of that space that Monster Hunter is. You're in fantasy, but you're not in high fantasy. Like there's not magic or anything really.
Right. It always had that ponytail like bloom too in the back. Plume.
Yeah.
Plume. Not bloom. Not a flower. Plume. Like feathers. I
I
said
mean, there are
bloom.
other things, but like I feel like it's unfair to say like, oh, the Fatalis armor from Iceborne because it did literally everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
as
pick
far
a
as, like,
It
skill.
looked really sweet though.
Yeah.
it did look cool, but it definitely was like, hey, this is the only way to have more stamina than anything else ever. I was like,
Otherwise, the Safijiba armor coupled with the Safijiba hammer with the eye that follows you around.
That was just creepy. That was just an eye following around. That's just creepy. Dog,
Well,
figure
how
it
do you
out.
think I feel when playing like Pokemon Go or Pokemon Legends Arceus with fucking Paris? Paris's eyes like follow you around everywhere.
I didn't play with Paris. Yeah, I was
You
already
should
off.
watch it,
I was already off the bug train. What do you do?
especially if you like play Pokemon Go. Its eyes will like follow you because they're just orbs with a smaller black orb in the middle, so they
Mm-hmm.
literally just follow you anywhere.
Right.
It's really disturbing.
I bet. I that does sound disturbing. So my answer, and I'm hoping to see this monster return soon. Although my hopes may be dashed. Is my favorite armor is actually Monoblos. It always had attack up. It looked really cool. You look like this really old school, like just like Death Knight kind of look, and it's all black with red spikes all over it. It's got a single like unicorn spike on your head, even though it just looks cool. It's really cool armor, and I loved having the attack up on it. I don't think it traditionally had part breaker, but in modern systems you could always just get part breaker anyways. So, because obviously part breaker's got to be a must for me. Dog, I'm sorry, my dog is just like not getting comfortable today. She is just like, I want to be on you, but I want to be in between you and the keyboard, and I'm like, that's not happening right now, dog. Right? Jeez. So many things wanting, like cats wanting your attention. What dog? At least at least the cats are nice to Chance. Jeez.
She's moved to the corner of the bed and she's now entered bath mode, so we're good.
Okay.
I mean, if this goes a couple hours, both cats will come say hi at some point, but
yeah,
they're usually pretty chill with me. I just pick them up and lay back, and then nothing happens.
My dog is like, I want to be on you, like everywhere on you, please. Like, no.
Also, she has the tools to distract herself as well because she likes the Nerf Elite balls, the like neon yellow ones that are like sort of like rubberized golf balls.
Yes.
Even now she just started like lightly batting at it as I was speaking. She will, if you throw them, she will chase after them and play fetch and bring them back to you generally.
Oh, cool. Not a lot of cats play fetch. That's cool.
Yeah. So even though she acts like a spoiled brat type of cat, she is very much like a dog.
My dog acts like a dumb dog. I love her, but she's dumb. Yep. Even Chance is nodding his head yes on that one. She's dumb. So best map. This could be from any of the Monster Hunter games. Sorry. Hiccup.
Snowy Mountains.
Okay.
Bring it back for Sunbreak. Give me a giant Snowy Mountains map.
Are we talking the Monster Hunter Freedom Unite Snowy Mountains? That would be the last time we saw them, right?
Mm-hmm. Nope. They brought it back in Generations.
Yes, they did.
And Generations Ultimate. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit more nice for the traversal.
I'm
In
just
that
trying to make
respect.
sure that I don't write down Snowy Mountains and it means multiple maps is all. I don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't think because they have what, the tundra from Tri and 3 Ultimate, and
The glacier,
the glacier.
frozen sea, or whatever.
Oh yeah, Frozen Seaway. The polar arena for Yukanlos.
Mm-hmm.
Or Yukonlos, for those of you that want to pronounce things certain different ways.
Ukanulos. Ukanulos. I'm just doing it on purpose.
Then the Frost Hinterlands or whatever from Iceborne.
Okay.
I forget what they call it. It's been a while since I've played it.
Maybe that. Oh gosh, it's not the Hinterlands, but it's something like that. Hoarfrost Reach, something like that.
Hoarfrost Reach. Yeah.
That, yeah. So that one, yeah. That so you're right. Snowy Mountains would be correct. Would be a singular map. Okay. Chance.
I think I'm going to go with Deserted Island because
Okay. Let me spell this right. One S, because it's not dessert.
You know, I liked how big it was, and this was probably the first time that wanton murder and destruction was just something I did. Because in Try, you could just walk outside. Granted, it wasn't plus rank at that point. You're just killing normal tier monsters, but I would kill stuff until stuff stopped spawning. Like, it is probably the map that I feel I can safely call a single map. I'd kind of almost say that the Guiding Lands would be like a high pick too, but I feel like that's too much of a cheat because it is like several areas stitched together.
It's just everything.
But yeah, I like it a lot. I like the water introduction of the water combat. A lot of things in Try I liked a lot. It's passable as the monstered version of it that we've gotten recently, where you kind of cut out the swimming areas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do like it with the swimming a lot because you do get that shortcut with the swimming where you just jump off of the docks and then you swim down to. It's not a total shortcut, but it works.
I'd like swimming to come back eventually.
I think they could pull it off better this time.
Yeah, I mean, especially with like the wire bugs, like they've obviously made traversability
a thing,
a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I'd like to see what they do if they had wire bugs plus swimming, for sure. Because could you imagine like the mobility it grants kind of gets rid of this sort of like terrible dodge that was in the water? Because like that, I think the water dodge, you didn't get a ton of iframes. Like you actually like. It's weird. It's like the distance of the dodge was longer, but the actual invincibility was shorter, I felt like.
Yeah.
And it really, like, I don't know, it messed with a lot of people, me included. I think we've talked about this before. If they bring it back in the same way that it was, which I don't think they do, I don't want it back. But if they fix it and make it better, I'm down for having it back. So, there we go. Best map for me is actually also from Try and 3 Ultimate, and that is the Flooded Forest. I love the aesthetics of the Flooded Forest. I love sort of like the underwater sort of like pond aesthetic. There's something about like freshwater, like lakes and rivers, like just how they look underwater was really cool to me. And they pulled that aesthetic off very well. And then when you surface, it's like this lush jungle above you. It's like it feels like total different worlds just below and above that surface. It was really cool, really cool look for the maps. I do enjoy Rise's version remake of the Flooded Forest, which is just called the jungle. I don't know what do they call it?
Flooded Forest, I'm pretty sure.
Is
I'm
it
pretty
Flooded
sure it's called
Forest?
the exact same thing.
So I'll
Yeah.
write Flooded Forest try. You think I know putting 600 hours into that game?
I think it'd be cool if they brought back the volcano from Try and 3 Ultimate and revamped it with Rise's engines and stuff. Because especially when you lead up to that sort of arc that goes right along the cone of the volcano when you're mining for ore and stuff like that, and then you descend into the volcano, into the rock Jordan nest.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be cool to revitalize that, but we'll
Yeah.
have to see.
There's always been there's a lot of great maps in this series, to be honest. Like, the maps have always been like a good, solid high point, even from number 1. Like, even the only map that I was sort of like, on number 1 was the desert. And that's because, like, it took forever to traverse it. Like, it was so much larger than what you see in 4 Ultimate. Like, the 4 Ultimate, they took like the little resizing tool and shrunk it about 50%. And well, especially those like out in the desert, like the actual dunes parts of the maps. And they were a lot more flat than they are now too. Of course, jumping design that we got in 4 Ultimate versus old stuff, which didn't have a lot of ledges, because ledges meant you were slow. And then in 4 Ultimate, it means more jumping attacks. So for people who aren't insect glaive, which you guys are both insect glaives, so you didn't care about ledges.
Yeah, I just pull right on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Move on with my day.
Yep. Me with the charge blade, ledges were like a killer. Oh no, I didn't run a vault.
And that was another great thing for dodging too, is like, especially if you're in that desert area, fighting against like Gendrome and stuff where they're agile and annoying as hell, and they jump up and down off of the ledges consistently. Very easy to get up on their level or down to them and back and forth.
Yeah.
To just stay on their asses and take them down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. Worst map.
It's
a hard one to consider. To consider what we all just said, that most of them are pretty good.
I'm not sure. I'd say maybe from Freedom Unite, the Fortress, where you fight like Kushala and Shengorin and Teostra and stuff like that. Just because I feel like they have those extra zones that don't really get utilized.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas, like, if you compare that to like the Laoshan Lung fight, each progressive zone that you go to has like a specific use to it.
Yeah. Okay. So the Monster Hunter Freedom Unite Fortress. Okay.
Although I would like to see it maybe revamped in future
right, but as it
iterations.
stands, it's your least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think they could have done some cool things with it, and they just didn't. Yeah, because like you get to see like the what was it, Duradama? What was the name of that town? Basically, the fortress in Dundorma. Yeah, and Dundorma in 4 Ultimate. It's sort of, you get that, especially with like the rusted Kushala fight and stuff like that. You actually get a fleshed out fortress map, which is cool, with different areas and stuff.
Yeah, and you have like the rail carts and stuff like that that have the mobile cannons on them, as opposed to just sort of boring nothingness. But
bring your pickaxes.
They were the earlier games.
Yeah. For sure. Chance, least favorite map.
Well, I talked to you a little bit beforehand about this. I think it's called Forgotten Tower.
Yeah.
There's these maps in some of the older games that all it did is you had to run your silly butt for 5 or 10 minutes up to this top of a tower just to fight gold and silver Enon Lows. Like, I think the map did other things, but all I could think of is why on
They
earth are we
also had
starting in area 1 and you run
they
to like
also
it's
had
area 9 or 10 and there's nothing there. Like, there's things, but nothing that
they
meant
also had
anything.
Yamatsukami in earlier game too.
Yes. Yeah, it's weird because it's a different version of the same map, but yeah.
It's just a clock tax. Like, I'm just wasting my time.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
weird. You had to transition like 4 or 5 areas to get there, and then they kind of did away with that with the G version of those fights. You just started the area before, but I was like, why
Mhm.
didn't you just do that to begin with? Like what? And
Or just give us like
sometimes they were Velociprey on the way up. Like,
yeah,
okay, fine, I guess.
just give us like the reverse of a Farcaster and give us like a near caster.
Ah, I like it.
Find that dang monster caster.
Good puns. Yeah.
I'll be here all night.
Awesome. Oh man. So the Forgotten Tower, I agree. I'm actually good. I don't remember the name of the map, but in Monster Hunter World where you fight oh, what's his name? The big guy.
Xenojiva?
No. Before that.
Zora Magdaros.
Zora Magdaros. The map, the siege map.
The Everstream
No, the Everstream's
tunnels.
that's Xenojiva. This is literally just like the seashore. Like you're just like trying to stop Zora Magdaros before he gets to the encampment, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna say Zora Magdaros map. Zora's map.
Not to be confused with Zora's Domain.
Yeah, Zora's domain. Also sucks. Water level. Alright, alright. If we're gonna keep with the video game memes, also sucks. I actually like the water temple in Ocarina of Time. Sorry, not sorry. The
Just lost viewers.
I just we just lost subscribers for that one. Oh no. So the Zora Magdaros map, mostly because I don't like the Zora Magdaros fight, and then it's just a lot of like, shoot, jump on him, jump off, shoot. Like I just don't like the siege maps like that anymore. I think.
Mm-hmm. See,
Uh,
that's why like when I got into like creating different variations of monsters, I was like drill beak Agnactor that like has a symbiotic relationship with uh Zora Magdaros because I felt like that map needed more than just like the weird little flying wyverns that it had around.
yeah,
I felt like it could have used like Uroctors or like a variant of
an
Uroctor
actual
that lived
threat.
with it. Yeah,
Mhm.
because well, it's cool that Nergigante shows up. He's more so just like a brief distraction,
He's a
especially
cameo,
if you have a yeah, especially if you have a team of 4
right?
and you could just get it taken care of right away, and then you're back to climbing up and down and trying to bomb pillars and use cannons and ballista and all that.
Yeah,
Um,
it sounds fun when you talk about it. Like, oh yeah, you got to use all these siege weapons and fight off this gigantic dragon. But like in execution, it's just like I just want to hit things with my weapon, and you're just not letting me hit things with my weapon. Like, what are we doing now? Like,
mm-hmm.
eh.
Yeah, because if it had like something that posed a threat to you while you're fighting, it would have like built up the stakes a little bit more for
Right.
me and made it better because like except for like Arch-Tempered Sora Magdaros, you don't really feel that much tension or stress while you're doing it. You're sort of just like hum da dum da dum da da. Ooh, a mining point. Dink 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 dink.
Yeah.
Ooh, a random piece of like hardened magma. Let me break that apart. And ooh, there's a mining point under it. Okay, tink 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 tink. Like it's to the point where like I just screw around and try to find as many mining points just to get the materials from it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the magma cores are usually pretty easy to get all in a row. The only one that really poses trouble is the one that's directly on his nose, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can
You'll just fall
oftentimes
off.
ignore that and still
Yeah.
and plus you can oftentimes just ignore it and still get a quest clear.
Yeah.
Like it's not
And not
100%
even
necessary.
a bad one. You can do a really good clear without ever touching it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Dog, I swear, if you try to circle around me, just go over there and lay down or something. She got up again.
But
Okay.
potentially if they brought that fight back with like rise mechanics where you can actually like scale it with the wire bugs and stuff like that and run up the side of it
Yeah.
and go all around, that could potentially make it better.
Mm-hmm.
Along with having like I don't know, Basarios on it, or like have Euroctors, little things like that to mess you up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm not against your idea, but yeah, I mostly attribute it to the map because it's just a terrible fight, and I just don't want to be there on that
Mm-hmm.
map, and it just ends up being boring. So yeah.
I will also say that having the rampages in Rise really left me longing to have a revamped Lao Shan Lung fight.
It
Like
does. It
I wish we
does
could have.
look like that map for sure. Yeah.
I wish we could have had him return for one because I mean, if Fatalis is enough to drive him away, I feel like Narwa and Ibushi would theoretically be that powerful too with
True.
their abilities.
Yeah, they could
But,
be. I do like their coral map though. That's actually really cool.
mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a expanded version, but we'll see.
We are getting through this a lot slower than I expected, honestly.
Mhm.
But
Well,
I'm
we could do
enjoying.
like a part 1, part 2.
I am enjoying the conversation for sure, though. So best theme. So we're talking about the musical themes, as far as like monster themes, town themes, even the main theme, like the heroes. Proof of a hero. There you go. I almost forgot the name. So Ace, the best musical theme of Monster Hunter.
You only know I gotta go with Poke Village,
Poke Village.
hands down.
Sorry.
Like when I first found out that they added the song pack to Rise, I bought that right away and set that to my music just instantaneously.
What?
There was no hesitation.
I didn't hear this because I don't normally pay attention to the DLC. How much is it?
They have, I think it's like a $2.99 or it's like a $3.99 pack.
Sold.
But yeah, they have music throughout the series. But Poker Village is one of the themes, and I have my Town and Rise set to that. Like,
Yep.
That was an instant buy for me.
Yep. Poke Village. Spoilers. It's also mine. Yeah. Poke Village is the best.
I mean, that or like the music box version of it, where it's like sort of like the tin lullaby style version.
Have you? So yeah, you've heard that one. I don't know where it came from. I actually have it on my phone, and I don't remember how I got it there.
I mean, there's videogamemusic.com.org or whatever it is.
I didn't use that.
I just did that a couple of times.
I don't know how I got it, honestly. I really don't. I have it though. John's gonna test this. It comes on the playlist, and he's just like, "Why does this sound like a lullaby?" I annoy him much with my music. because I drive, so I get to pick the music, and he hears the same thing.
Also,
yeah.
I mean,
If I had to
I mean,
choose, I'd rather not drive. So yeah.
the supernatural saying is, driver chooses music, shotgun shuts his cake hole.
All right.
A little aggressive, but pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Chance, best theme for you.
I have a pretty cheesy answer. It's if
Mhm.
we're just talking about music design and what role it plays in the game,
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the silence when Camillus goes invisible in the early games.
There is a theme there, but the theme does go away when he's invisible. Yes. So Camillus,
It's just like
we'll just write down Camillus.
I actually wrote silence in the parentheses, but you can write what you want. But just thinking of it is my favorite monster, so it is something I consider with everything.
As long as
But
you
just
don't.
that difference of the eyeball goes away, the music stops, and then you just bump into something. You're like, I guess I found him. Like that aspect of playing with him, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Although I do have to say, I like his theming from the earlier games, where it's sort of got like that mystical sounding music that plays when you fight him.
The drums that the like you see it like on. They actually did a bit of this on Sing 2. Yes, I saw Sing 2 because I have kids. They have a bunch of storks playing on those giant drums. You know, like the big, like the ones that are like bigger than a guy, and there's like 15 people playing different ones, and they're like boom, 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 and like they're super loud. There's a bit where they're doing like a audition for this big producer guy, and it's like you get all these little clips of different music routines, and one of them is one of those giant drum routines. Like there's like 15 storks playing on a bunch of different drums, but it's so loud that like he's doing like the Simon Cowell where he like buzzes them and says no, right? But the buzz doesn't happen. Like it's happening, but the thing is so loud no one can hear the buzzer. So it's just like
Nice.
I just turned like the area turns red, but they're like drumming so hard they can't see it. It's a funny bit. It's in the movie, but yeah, they have a bit of those like wooden sort of like old drums in the Camillus theme. That's really cool. But Chauncey's theme being essentially silence, also unseen. It's almost like saying Kazoo's theme, which is nothing.
No, Kazu has a theme. It's just very loud screaming.
Yes.
It's the screaming and that original weird like reverb effect that it has in the older games. Because I don't think it has that effect in the newer version.
I don't like where chat is going on this one. They're like, no, passenger gets to choose music. I'm like, wait a second. That's not. Hey, hold on. I like my music. Don't take it away from me.
I guess we're spiraling on music a little bit. I'm fine listening to the radio and like listening to pop stuff, and I found that like everyone in my life, except for maybe my mother, is just like ugh with that.
I just don't. I don't like a lot of
choose
modern music. I mean, there's a few things I like, but like, I just add them to my playlist. Is what happens. My playlist of now like 552 different tracks, so goes in there, put it on shuffle, and I've got like 6 hours of music before it repeats. So.
I just bounce around to whatever.
Yeah. See. Chad is with me on that. Radio, ew. That's Max, by the way. Oh man, I like it. So my theme, I also like Poke Village, but I'd be remiss, so I'll just say a second one since AC already talked about my first. I'm going to say Proof of a Hero. I'm going to write it down. Everyone knows the main theme for Monster Hunter is beautiful. It brings a tear to my eye if I hear it at the right time. Like, legit. Proof of hero. Just gonna write it down. Don't need to talk about it. You know it if you hear it. It's got a lot of French horns. It's super good. All right, we are done with row 1 out of 4. That is
We
almost
might
an
get
hour
done
in.
today.
We might.
Like I said, if we could do a 2-parter.
That means you're abducting me for another Saturday.
I mean, yeah, we could, but we can't do this with Sasha back next week. We'd have to continue this
Monster
later.
Hunter.
We'd have to continue this on.
Make them wait a
date.
month.
Make them wait a month. Yeah. Well, I think some of this is going to be some agreement and stuff too. All right. So best monster. This whole row, I believe, is focusing on monster.
Cool.
Yeah, want to see more of this one, I think also means monster. So I wrote that in. It says monster, but I'm going to erase that now so we have more room to write. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. All right. Chance. Or, sorry, not Chance. Ace. We actually have a order. Ace. Chance. Best monster?
I think just solely based off of nostalgia factor, I'm gonna say Nargacuga is probably
Solid
my favorite
choice.
/ best.
I only, although spoilers, I only have one that I would say is not a solid choice. We'll get there.
Although I would say it would probably tie with Nursilla as well.
Ooh. Ooh, man.
I can't write both. Oh, maybe I can. Let me try.
Nah, just.
I mean, they both start with N.
Nargasilla?
So
Nargasilla?
Nargasilla.
It's some cursed abomination.
Nerkuga.
Narga and Nersilla. It's sort of there. It's kind of hard to write. All right. So, Nargacuga, wonderful bat cougar, pseudo wyvern. And Nersilla, wonderful wearing Gypsaros skin spider. Both awesome fights.
Because I would say Gypsaros would probably be my should have never existed.
Well, that's spoilers. That's like next.
Yeah, but we're talking. We were just talking about how long it took us to get through the first row.
You're hurting me. All right.
So
I'll do it.
So I'm gonna roll them into one, just because to me Gypsaros has always been a dumbass turkey, and he plays dead for no reason.
Okay, this
And he
used
just
to be convincing in the older games because it was hard to tell. Yes, quest clear, I get it, but he's not always the main monster.
No, I once I learned it the first time, it was pretty easy just to figure it out and avoid, and especially if you
Yes.
go into the quest menu and you check to see if it's dead. Nope, not dead.
I mean, yes. However, in older games, you did do a lot of farming of other monsters in other quests, and it would not show up that fashion. So it's easier to spot, a lot easier to spot now. And once you get used to it, even then, you know when it's faking or not. There are ways to tell. But yeah, I mean, I get it. It's still, I hate it. I hate that you chose that because I legitimately love almost every monster. So
same. Like it's Gypsaros is just the one that I like the least, I would say.
Sure. That is essentially what this is going to be. Should have never existed as yeah.
I mean, I could just be a dingus and say Conchu. Because they just exist to roll and interrupt attacks. Or set me up to get smashed by a monster.
Well, we kind of have the same category repeated twice. But they're more like ones I like, but everyone doesn't, and vice versa. So, allows you to basically get 2 on the list. Chance, what is your best monster?
think I'm gonna have to keep on the N train and do Narajula.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Nazarala.
Just amused by the snake monster.
I
Although I
don't
do
know
have
if
to
I'm
say,
saying it right or spelling it right, but we're gonna do. Sniffy
although I
snake.
have to say I do kind of slightly dislike its subspecies more because of
Just how.
its like homing aqua shots
Yeah.
that if you're just not paying attention to will constantly just snipe you and mess you up.
I didn't know how to spell it, so I just drew a snake near it, if you can see it. I think it's Najarala, but I don't. It's hard to spell some of these
I
monsters.
like to fight a lot because mounting it, I think, as the cat was always high comedy. You see this huge snake thing flipping and flopping around, and then you're
Oh yeah,
doing
it
the
did.
thing.
It had a wonderful animation how it would like flop and flip. Like if you ever caught a snake, that's what they do. They just like barrel roll everywhere. Like so that was actually a really cool animation that they did, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, the cat on it does look hilarious because you're like, what is happening? Is it having chances on it? Okay, why is it seizuring?
I like mounting. It is a lot of the questions of why is the monster doing something dumb in the earlier games. As soon as we could mount, it was me. I was mounting the monster because I liked it.
Okay. I think those people who know me are going to know my answer for this, and it's not changing. Diablos.
Considering we saw a tiny one already.
And yeah, for those who need
Considering it's like
visual aid,
the emblem of the show.
no, that's my personal It came off. Poor guy. Oh, you're just falling apart. There we go. It's back. It comes off really easy. Yeah, Diablos, awesome herbivore, triceratops, dragon, wyvern thing. It is a wyvern, yes. I know. Don't cringe. It is definitely a wyvern, not a dragon. But it is I very much enjoy just the idea of a very armored, aggressive herbivore. And I like that he eats cactuses. Because why not? I don't care about the soft parts of my mouth. I am crushing needles like they're nothing. I just love it.
No wonder they seem so pissed off all the time.
Dirt Satan, chat says.
They need some dental insurance.
Dirt Satan. I love it. He does have 2 curled horns. Man, they're at each other in chat today. Had to. Wow. Anyways, yeah, Diablos. He's been my favorite since the first game. He's continues to be my favorite. Yeah, it's just not gonna change. Should have never existed. We already got Gypsaros from Ace, so chance.
And I will be back.
Sure.
Shengeorin.
Okay.
We don't need a huge crab.
Giant crab monster.
Giant enemy crab. Like, I just, it felt so much like we're just trying to follow the formula of here is a Lao Shan fight that's not Lao Shan. We added crabs. Here's a crab that's big. Like, and we just didn't need it.
I don't know how to spell this. I don't know how to spell this. Shengeorin. I thought it was cool that it had a Lao Shan skull on its back.
I mean, it's not like the design was bad or anything. It's just like his existence was unnecessary, not the execution.
True. It is it's kind of weird fight too, because you just got to hit the legs till it falls down, and then hit it in a bunch of the face, and then rinse and repeat. Just it's another one of the boring-ish fights. Although if you mess up and it lasers your base, that's kind of cool, but not cool because you messed up. Opens up. You remember that where it opens up the Laoshan mouth and just completely lasers you.
Been a long time. I don't really remember. I just thinking back on it, it feels superfluous.
Superfluous. Okay. All right. All right. So should have never existed. I think.
King Shaka?
Yeah, I think those who know me know this one too. King Shakalaka Shitbag. Oh, I mean poop bag. Sorry. King Shaka. Yeah. Oh. What big word? Someone didn't I said a big word.
Bad word? Probably bad word.
Bad word? Okay. All right. I won't say bad word. Sorry. Oh, superfluous means meaningless. Um
Yes, that's the bad thing. I am great in speaking. My vocabulary is speaking fantastic. Would you like to write all this down? No, I can't spell half of it.
no, it's not it's weird. Superfluous is like not necessarily meaningless. It's like unneeded. It's basically like it's just not a thing. Didn't need it. I think. Learning that was superfluous. Thanks.
You can't say that has no meaning because you learned something you didn't know.
Hey, chat. You asked, and I'm guessing on the definition.
Unnecessary is close enough.
Yeah. I'd like to move on, but Ace hasn't come back yet.
We'll just skip him for now.
Yeah, let's skip
I'll be
him.
first anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I like, but many hate. I'm just making an assumption. I'm not really tied into the Monster Hunter community like
As much, yeah.
I believe you two are. But over the years, I've gotten a big impression that people don't like Plesioth, but I actually quite enjoy him.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Fish Hip Check, like I think he's neat. I never like it took you starting this podcast and kind of getting tapped into that network of people before I realized people really hate this thing. I don't know why.
That's my answer as well, Chance. Plesioth. Yeah. People hate that monster, and I love it.
Fish. I kind of enjoy his sounds. He flops around. Fishing him out was kind of neat. The green monster, I guess, was even worse. But, you know, my most recent experience playing against this monster is playing as a cat who's too short to get hit by anything. Hard to hate him.
Yeah.
Duramboros?
Plesioth. So we skipped you because you were gone. I like, but so many hate. Chance and I are both in agreement on Plesioth. If you missed it, his answer for should have never existed is Shangoran, and mine is King Shaka.
As is to be expected of you.
Yes. I hate that monster with a burning passion. So what do you I like but so many hate? Where are you on that? John said Plesioth. That is definitely a valid answer. Most people hate Plesioth. But he didn't know if it was valid or not.
Giginox, easily.
I don't think a lot of people hate Giganox.
I love the creepy crawly monsters. A lot of people do because they hate the poison.
Okay.
Especially if you get
I'm with you on that one.
G-rank
on
and
that.
stuff like that.
You hear a lot of people say, add Giganox. You get Giganox. Add him. He's the giant tapeworm monster. And people who are unfamiliar with monster lamprey. No, Kazoo's more the lamprey because he's circular. Whereas Giganox is very tapewormish. He's very flatworm looking with wings.
Okay. Yeah.
Chad's getting weird today. I like getting sass. Okay. Oh man. So yeah, Giganox, I can see why people would hate it because yeah, it is the tapeworm wyvern. And I don't hate it. I just prefer Kazoo over to Giganox. They fill the same role, and I think Giganox kind of got outdated the moment they took away the lighting mechanics in Monster Hunter. soon as 3 Ultimate came out and they stopped having completely dark rooms, where his bioluminescence really is what made him intimidating. He's not the same. He's not as scary in the light. He's scarier in the dark, and
Well, they could bring it back.
They
Could
could
always bring it back.
They could,
especially since we're getting the castle ruins. Imagine being hunted in the remains of a castle in the dark by Giginox.
And they could give me an armor skill that you just glow.
That'd be kind of cool.
Okay. All right.
Am I bioluminescent or radioactive? You'll never know.
As long as you're not toxic, right? So I hate. I hope not. Jeez. I hate, but so many like. The monster that I hate, but so many like. So what do you think, Ace? Can we change this to meh? Because like most of us don't really hate monsters.
Yeah, probably meh for me would be.
We'll edit it.
The Nibble Snarf.
Nibble Snarf, yeah. Nibble Snarf, Nibble Snarf, Snarf.
I feel like his fight could be a little bit better if they changed up how he looks a little bit and behaves.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he gets a little like, especially if you're doing well in the fight, he just sort of doesn't do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chance.
I think it's valid to say Zinogre.
You don't like Zinogre?
I like his design aesthetic, but actually fighting him, no thank you.
I did not know this.
I don't enjoy what Iceborne kind of did to him. Like, he was probably okay before, but taking an aggressive monster and tuning that up kind of puts it in the same category of, I don't like what's his name? Oda Garen. I really don't like Oda Garen.
Okay. A lot of people like him too.
So it's just these, I don't know, kind of glass cannon. They're going to run around and do a bunch of stuff and eventually just flop over for some damage reason. And then the fight calms down. I like to be calm. I like to be collected. I don't like the battle feeling frantic the whole time. I just don't enjoy that.
Sure. Okay, so what about the theme? Do you like the theme? Chat is asking you about the theme.
What theme?
Zinogre's theme.
Is like
the music?
Electric guitar.
I don't remember it.
Wow. Doesn't remember it. Okay. Gotcha. That answers that, chat. That answers that.
So, I can put my hand on hips and say, as clearly the least informed here, it didn't leave an impression. Take that as you may.
Wow. Okay.
I don't remember any of the music, honestly.
Yeah, that's my chat is like, wow. Yeah, that's my reaction too. That's a good theme, honestly. In my opinion, at least. But hey, it's his opinion.
I can kind of think some of it now with like his howling in the middle of it. But I more think about him howling than the music.
Yeah. It's true. Alrighty. So, meh, but so many like. I don't know. It's hard because I like almost every monster for some different reason or whatnot. Safi Jiva. There we go. Safi Jiva. And it's not that Safi Jiva's fight is bad. I actually really enjoyed the fight. I actually really enjoyed the monster design. It's the equipment that comes out of Safi Jiva and how much it bottlenecked Iceborne at the time. Safi Jiva is what made me stop playing Iceborne for a long time. And Elatrion coming back is what got me back into it and finishing the game. Safi'jiiva is legitimately the only monster to have stopped me playing Monster Hunter because I was so frustrated with the mechanics that it brought into the game. Yeah. So Safi'jiiva. A lot of people liked that. A lot of people liked that monster. And like I said, I love the design. It's a really cool, super red dragon looking D&D dragon. Like super awesome design. Fun fight. Really fun fight. I liked the multi-stages. But like the equipment that came out of it just made everything feel so bland and so awful at the end game. I hated it. I hated it. Hated it, hated it, hated it. All right. Best fight. Ace, your favorite fight.
Easily Fatalis in Iceborne.
All right. I will see. IB for Iceborne. Not Irritable Bow. Fatalis. Although he would give.
I mean, I would say
IB fatty.
does cause IBS.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Fatalis being. Yeah, that was a rough one.
Especially if you're all the way on the other side of the map when he starts his flyaway animation.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So, Iceborne Fatalis.
Maybe the power of my farts will save me. Maybe it'll give me just enough boost to get out of the range.
The power of farts. Okay.
Break a little more wind resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like easily just one of the best fights in the series. I do wish that they would have like a free form where it was like the full 50-minute quest challenge, so you could maybe take more of your time with it instead of like the 30 to 35-minute timer that they currently have it locked to. But overall, very, very fulfilling fight to go through as you build up with its aggression and its danger, and then when you get the Dragonator, and then
where's my Dragonator? Yeah. Okay. All right. So Iceborne Fatalis, that was a wonderful fight. Chance, how much did it take us to do? That was like a week, right? A solid week of us trying.
I feel like the Elatrion took longer. I think that was like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. We ended up doing
I think it was like there was a group of people we were playing with, and it just happened to be we pivoted and played it with 2 other people who'd cleared it and just smacked it.
Now, was it Elatrion that we finished with Vengeful Torture and...
I think so.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. But yeah, so Fatalis was a wonderful fight. I think it was a good send-off to Iceborne, honestly. Really great. With you there, Ace. That's solid fight. Chance, what is your best fight?
I think I want to go with basically the old style of Elder Dragon. I liked that you had to do the quest 4 times.
Old Elder Dragon.
Excluding original Fatalis because of the bottleneck mentality of you had to bowgun only. But like second generation...
So we'll do Old Koosh.
Just do Old Elders. Like you don't need to... Teo, Camillus...
I think it's just those 3. Old Koosh.
I like that.
Camillus and
because you fight and you try to get enough done by the 25 marker, and you have this big investment in actually downing the dragon and getting the equipment, and it felt a lot more grand to us. Now, we look back when we went and played back through 4 Ultimate, some of the stuff that I had never fought, being like, yeah, we downed it in 20 minutes because it's just what happens. It's like, that definitely felt more grandiose than with the... I don't think they had those weird like checkpoints like the original Fatalis did. I don't think it was like the 3rd time you got the crust and this time you got the wing or something like that.
Right.
But it's still neat to have this almost vendetta of like going back and beating on the same one. If you severed its tail was still gone. It felt epic. It felt grand scale, and we just we have other things that I think feel some of that same need, but just nothing is that anymore for me.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah, and I agree with you. I would like to see that come back. Um, Best fight for me. It's a tough one, but
Duffy.
no, no,
I
it's a
don't
good
know.
fight. It's a good fight.
The last thing says maybe no.
This
King
is
Shaka?
what is with the troll answers? No.
Vespa Queen?
Um.
Oh yeah, let me slap you with my ass a few dozen times and see how much you like the game after that.
Oh boy. I'm going to have to go, and I'm going to say, because I like the fights a lot more, just because of I like the game more in Rise. Um, I say my favorite, the best fight, I think. I think it's Rathalos in Rise. Like I feel like that one really gets my blood pumping because it's so different. It's a classic
Mm.
monster that is done very differently and very well. Um, there's a lot of cool things about it. You know, obviously part breaking, tail coming off. It's all like all the part breaking stuff is there. Um, I like how they have sort of fixed the thing of him being both king of the skies and not sort of tied to the ground, but also not like in try where it's just like I'm going to hit the end of the tail for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it feels epic and it feels done right. So I think Rathalos, so Rise Rathalos is my answer. There could be a lot of
Okay.
answers of that for me. I was really, really thinking Rakna Kadaki as well because so many part breaks. I love just like when you do that second part break and it just sort of collapses and everything breaks and falls apart. That's a really cool part of
Mhm.
that. There's so many good fights in Rise, and there's so many good fights in older games too. But like, I just after crown hunting, I didn't get bored of Rathalos. I was a little sad that I crown hunted Rathalos so quickly. You know what I mean? It's like one of the ones where it's just like, hey, I didn't have to kill it a billion times, but I kind of maybe wanted to. Like that was a good one. Um, so there we go. So this category, keep in mind we're still in monsters. So want to see more of this one. Want to see more of this monster. Ace.
Nursilla, Rakna Kadaki, bu- 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 Atoka, all the
And
bug monsters. Give me more.
bugs. We'll just say bugs.
There's like Temnosarin or something like that.
There's
Timisaran and
Temnosaran. Yeah, the Neopterans. We'll just say
give me the bugs. The creepy
arthropods
crawlies.
Bugs
because
plus 2. Because bugs with 2 more legs.
bugs plus 2.
What if we got like a hissing cockroach monster? How much do you think people would hate it?
Oh, you know what? We talked about this a couple times. There is a hissing cockroach level in EVO, the Search for Eden. Seriously,
Nice.
there's like a level in the amphibian stage. There's just like a crap ton of cockroaches just charging at you, and you basically just have to bite it before it gets to you, or you're going to get sort of like hit stunned. That level can kill you like pretty easily if you just. It can be like a cascading of hit stuns to get you killed if it's in the wrong pattern. No, I like chat. No baddies. Oh man.
Like
Our,
really a really loud hiss that stuns you,
yeah.
and then this cockroach just comes out and starts like smacking you with its mandibles and shit.
Okay. All right. Um, Chance. Want to see more of this monster.
Primitus.
Prometheus. Okay.
I like the monkey, the ape monsters, and like we've gotten plenty of Rajang, but I feel like
So
I
we're
want to see
talking
more of
specifically
Conga.
Konga / Blangonga.
Yeah, like it'd just be nice to see more of them. I thought they were always kind of neat. I do think Blango was a little. He's in that realm of too aggressive for me to always have fun with it.
Right.
But Fart Monkey was great.
Catch a walk.
Ketchawacha.
Felt more playful.
He's a fanged beast. They actually recategorized the monkeys to be a fanged beast. So is Rajong now, fanged beast. But he's actually post.
And it,
So I don't know. Would you want Ketchawacha in that category? Do you want to see more of him?
it'd be fine. Like
Okay.
in this vein, like I was pleased with Bishitan. Like it had some of that play pattern of like he had the random stuff he was throwing. Like Kongalala would eat the random shrooms and then have a dragon breath or something. Like
Oh yeah, yeah. It was nice having like the different attacks that he did. And one of my favorite gifs I ever put on Twitter is me just dunking a Kangalala because I had the cat put down the trampoline. If you remember that in Generations Ultimate, the trampoline cat assist.
I don't think I've seen that one.
basically just bounce up.
Yeah, you just bounce up. You just do a bounce up. It helps you with mounting attacks.
Right.
And Kangalala does his big giant belly flop thing, and I just hit him in the head in the air, and he just falls down and dies. So like we sort of met in the air, and I won, which isn't. I don't know. I like it when you're like monster coming at you, and you attack monster, and monster goes down. I love that interaction.
I mean, those are always satisfying, especially if it's
Oh yeah,
the third and final combo on a greatsword strike.
sure, yeah, or any great sword strike, honestly, and it was a great sword hit.
Can't tell you how many minutes I've wasted towards the end of like the last 5 to 10 minutes of a quest trying to
Trying to get
just
that
get the
perfect
combo
kill
kill.
string. Yeah. Okay. All right. Want to see more of this one. So I'm going to say this on the premise of more of this in the main series. I would like to say Akura Vashima or some frontier monsters. But I'm going to stick with main series, and I'm just going to say Monobolus. I want to see Monobolus come back. I don't want to see him stay. Just as much as Diablos.
Also want to see them do justice to Lavasiath and by extension Geratodus and Beatotus. Because they're all like infant size basically compared to what they are in previous games with Plesioth and Lavasiath.
Yeah, Plesioth was always
awesome.
one of the hugest ones.
You terrorize me.
Yeah.
Especially in G rank in Freedom Unite because of how large he is and how aggressive he is. And it really disappointed me how tuned down he was in Monster Hunter World.
Right. So, we will continue, but I'm going to change it up a little bit because I want to sort of end. So we're going to do this. If you look at the screen, we're going to do left to right and then right to left. So, just a visual representation for you. So, least favorite Monster Hunter, and we are currently in the games section. Least favorite Monster Hunter game. Ace.
I don't know. I would guess probably try if I actually sat down and play it, just because it has such a small and limited roster.
18 monsters. 18 large monsters is a really small roster, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is tied for the smallest ever in a main series game, which I think was number 1, having 18, I think.
Yeah. Which really, really frustrates me when I see people in the Monster Hunter community acting all foolish and being like, "Oh, Rise is so lacking in content, and blah blah blah." It has
It's
so
not.
few monsters.
Even World
Like,
had
are
less
you kidding me?
than Rise. World had less than Rise.
Right, and it's like on par with where Freedom 2 was, and then we're pretty much expecting it to wind up where Freedom Unite is.
Right.
'Cause I don't get why people like can't just enjoy what they have, man.
We always want more, don't we? More, 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 more. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If we get like 100 monsters in Sunbreak, I'm good. Like, I'd be happy. But we're not. I don't think we are. But
Eventually, I just want for like the 20th anniversary, if they can time it out properly, let's just have it be a giant ass game that includes every single monster and every single map that's been in the series. Sound good, Capcom? Sounds good to me, Capcom.
okay, all right.
Just flood the game with monsters and maps.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, if they could, I'd love that. But I'm also understanding that things take time and resources. So
And I will fully that'll fully be like the one and only game that'd be a launch edition that would be like $100 that I'd absolutely pay for. Because like
sure, I guess, yeah.
that was like with the last generation of consoles, and this generation of consoles was like the speculation and the fear of game prices increasing.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely spent more than $100 on a game though on launch.
Mhm.
It's
Oh yeah,
happened.
I mean collector's edition of World, just right away.
Not even. I mean, Kirby, Forgotten Land. I bought 3 copies of it. One for me and one for the
Well,
girls.
That's different.
that I would say that's different.
We're encroaching on $200 for a game, which we didn't play any of it today at
Yeah, but it's
all.
not just one edition of the game though.
No, it's not.
It's
It's three
three copies
copies.
of the game.
Yeah,
So I would say that doesn't count.
right. They didn't play it at all today. I got them obsessed with a new game today,
Oh,
and it was $7. So that was a lot cheaper.
mm-hmm.
So least favorite Monster Hunter game, Chance.
I just have to go 3U because I think it's the one I progressed through the game the least.
Are you sure?
And
Because
that
that's the
was
one we played together at the apartment. Are you thinking 4U?
Maybe? Hi, Cat. There's just one of them that circumstantially it was a time that you and I didn't play much together, and it was like, this just feels like work. I'm not into this right now.
I'm pretty sure that's
There's one of the
4U
games I got
because 3U was me,
barely
you,
got
and
through.
Kyle playing it together a lot.
Otherwise, I was gonna say get a Wii U, start a new save file, and Cham, and Jay and I will help speed run you into G rank.
He played. That's the one you played on 3DS. I played on the Wii U, and Kyle was on 3DS. Yeah. So you're saying that one, or are you saying the one where you had moved away?
I don't know.
It's
I
4U.
thought it was 3U
It's
because
4U.
we actually looked at my data and I didn't get very far. But I feel like there was one that I don't even know that I got past.
4U. I know you didn't get out of low rank. Like
Yeah. So it's gotta be that one. And it's not necessarily
Yeah.
the game was bad or anything. It's just circumstances of I didn't have motivation to play it.
I'm gonna put little excite marks around that because that's like most people's favorite. Just to spite people. No, that's mean. I'm just playing. I'm sorry. All right. My least favorite. Is this gonna be a surprise?
For you.
No.
For you.
No.
One?
Stories 2.
It feels like cheating, but okay.
I saw the eye roll from Ace. The silent protagonist thing infuriates me in that one. It's a
But
good
those are
game.
spin-offs, though. I would say
It's
not
still
main
a
series
Monster
game
Hunter game.
for you. The correct answer is for you, and specifically because of the Apex thing and the Y stones.
You're not wrong, but
Right.
it's
Oh, that's what goes in that. Yeah, I definitely didn't play that stuff.
yeah. Screw Apex. Like old style. I'm okay with the newest style of Apex, but the old style Apex, that's the worst mechanic that ever happened in a main series game.
And the truth comes out.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not arguing with you on that one, but no, yeah, you're right. Gosh darn it. Because Monster Hunter
Much
Stories
like
mechanically is a good game.
Super Kamiguru from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Hush, Cham. I'm speaking for you.
All right, all right. Apparently, Ace knows me better than me because I just want to. Can I make it my biggest letdown?
On technicality, I know you better than you.
Okay, big personal impact. I believe this is game. I believe this is intended to be the biggest personal impact as far as game. Freedom Unite for you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was my genesis into this wonderful universe we find ourselves in, always discussing and talking about
I get it.
nonstop.
Yeah, I mean it's solid. It's a solid title in the series. It's the first one you saw commercials for in the United States. It's the first one. There's so many good things about Freedom Unite. It had for the longest time the biggest roster. Not until Generations did that roster get beaten. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Um. Anyways, Chance, biggest personal impact as far as Monster Hunter games.
Might have to go with FU as well.
Monster Hunter FU Freedom Unite.
And that was just because, up until that point, there hadn't been really any, ooh, this was a really hard quest, or I felt really accomplished for doing this. But the had to do solo killing 2 G rank Rajang by yourself in order to get the rainbow cosmetic.
Oh yeah.
Doing that, I felt like I've done something difficult on this game that other people might have given up on. And,
Insert your crying boo from Monsters Inc. holding the gaming controller with the headset meme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So mine, again, I think people know my answer on this one. It's just Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter 1.
Mm-hmm.
That was the impetus for a lot of things for me. Getting into the series, getting connected to the Monster Hunter community for the first time, like so many things, and then obviously the impetus for this whole podcast, everything. The first game is what really sold it to me, and I've loved it since. So, like it even if others don't. So it's a game in the series that you like, even if the other people don't.
Rise.
Rise.
There's a lot of whiners and naysayers about Rise.
Yeah, that's my answer too. Rise. Yeah.
There's not enough monsters. It's so short.
It's again. I will point back to just one base game later. Monster Hunter World had less monsters. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You base game Rise without adding monsters had more than End of World.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, for just game wise, you have nothing to complain about when you can look back to the days of try.
Mm-hmm.
You should as close as I will, I guess, get to like a boomer stance on things. You should be grateful for what you kids have nowadays.
Right. Chance, do you have an answer for this?
Not really. Like I've not really disliked any of the games or had any inclination of liking it in spite of negative. Like I like Rise, so maybe that's good enough. But Rise for this one for me as well.
Rise
But
across the board. We're just going to say that. Rise across the board.
I like it. It's fun. Kind of have some of the trap of the current game tends to be a well liked one because it's what you remember.
There's a lot of people that do like Rise, and there's a lot of people who are on our side of, that was really hard for me to say for some reason, on our side of this issue, if you want to call it that. It's mostly a Twitter thing. People are like, "Oh, I'm out because Rise did this and Rise did that." Like, whatever. I mean, you see people like our friend Wyverian4G who's like, "I like Rise. I don't care what you people say." And there's all sorts of people that I've seen even recently says Rise sucks, and it's just like, okay, sure. I mean, you're allowed to have that opinion, but I think it's pretty great. So here we are. Dislike it, even though others do like it. Ace.
Probably try. I don't know.
There's a lot of try love out there. I don't know. Chance? I don't think we have to describe that one. I get it. We've already talked about why.
Otherwise, maybe online. The
Yeah.
China exclusive.
Yeah. Chance?
I really don't have an answer. I don't know that I really dislike any of them.
Okay.
Just say the Cat Village Simulator.
The FromSoft one? The From Software one? The one I love to put on Twitter? It's like, hey, those guys that created Dark Souls? They made a Monster Hunter game. It was cool. Okay, so no answer from Chance on that one. I'm almost with you on the logic of that, Ace, with online. And I'm probably gonna, even though I feel like playing the game, I would like it. However, the steps that you would have to take to play it, I will say Frontier.
Cool.
I do not feel like giving myself a fake South Korean social security number to play your game. And then also not play it in English. And then also, if I do want to play it in English, do a lot of complicated things to download and modify this game. I just want to play the game. So when I say this, I just want to play the game. I'm not against playing Frontier. I want to play all those crazy monsters. I've been saying for years, I want to try Espinus. I want to try Akura Vishima. There's so many monsters that I'd like to try. But I'm not faking a social security number equivalent. I'm not doing it.
Or I could just cheat for this slot and say Dauntless.
Dun dun dun. Dauntless is technically not Monster Hunter, so we'll leave it.
I said cheat.
Okay.
Wait. Can I say that what is it? Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the worst Monster Hunter game because it has the Monster Hunter character.
Ooh, spicy one.
That's not a real answer.
By that logic, then you could say Smash Bros for like 3DS, because you could buy a Monster Hunter skin that was just like a sword fighter.
Yes.
Isn't it the new Smash Brothers has Rathalos as one of the bosses?
Yeah, it's one of the helper monsters. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Chat's pointing out it wasn't 3; it was Infinite. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That had that.
I didn't play the game,
It's true.
which is funny because I do have the Funko for it because
Yeah.
it's a Monster Hunter Funko.
Yeah,
The one with Black
I've got-
Panther. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got both of them.
Oh, I saw a really sad GIF the other day. Someone was interviewing. I don't remember his name, unfortunately, because I'm bad with names.
Chadwick Boseman,
Yes, Chadwick Boseman.
Black Panther.
Yeah, someone was interviewing Black Panther after Black Panther 1. They're like, "We're gonna see you back from Black Panther 2," and he's like, "No, I'm dead." He already knew. It was like the craziest thing that he was already gonna die, and he's just like, "No, I'll be dead by the time that comes out." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've got cancer. I'm dead." And then the interviewer was like, "What?" Like, huh? I was just like, "Oh my gosh, that is sad." Anyways, so these next two, I want to say, so these are Love and Hate and Biggest Letdown. These can be the game, or I will say monsters, because it's hard to put a game in that category sometimes, especially when we're just like, we liked them all. So Ace, love/hate, game or monster?
I mean, I love Generations. I love Iceborne. I love Freedom Unite. I love Rise. I'll probably love Sunbreak.
But there's no like
I don't-
love
I don't
hate.
think I'm-
You don't like you love it, but you hate this aspect of it. Like anything.
Not really.
Okay.
I guess I would have to hear examples to really find stuff that I like
Sure.
hate.
Okay.
I've got a perfect thing to put here.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Oda Garen to my core,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love what I'm doing.
but I love the tumbling cards aspect of him. Like you break one claw, and then he just starts exploding.
Yeah, all of his parts start eventually breaking. So love hate
I just want.
love hate
I just
Odo.
want my.
Yeah.
I just want my Rotten Veil variant of Odogaron to become a thing.
Oh yeah, your soul one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My damn, what's the Delameter infused.
That's one very
Odogaron.
hard. Yeah, it's a very hard. I was trying to say that the other Dalameter, whatever. Yeah. All right.
Salamander.
Stories 2. Love hate stories 2. Monster stories 2. I love that cat, but I also fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate that he talks for you. I really hate it. I think he's hilarious. When he's just
But
being
if you
him.
don't have donuts, how do you not go nuts?
I actually thought that there was a really funny part where he makes a joke and everyone just walks away. And he's just like, "What? Where did everyone go?" Like that legit I was actually cracking up. But oh, I hate this the silent protagonist of like, "Let me ask you a question, player," and then player says nothing and walks away. And they're like, "What does that mean? Hello?" They're like, your character is such a jerk in that game. Like, I hate it. Oh my gosh.
Nah, get lost, scrubs. I'm the savior of the world. I don't have time to talk to you.
See, that's a jerk.
I have to go and beat this secret butterfly dragon. Screw you.
Secret butterfly dragon. It's true. That is what it feels like. All right, so biggest letdown, game or monster?
The PTSD inducing death of Guardian Ratha.
So Stories 2 or just Guardian Ratha?
Guardian Wrath of Death.
Guardian Ratha Death.
I was not prepared for that when it happened.
Yeah. This is in Stories 2, by the way.
And I was like, they might as well have just brought back Grandpa and killed him on screen. Because
this is
that
the
would have been just as horrifying to watch.
this is the Deckard Cain of Monster Hunter. For all those Diablo fans. All right. The death of Guardian Ratha in Monster Hunter Stories 2. You've been looking for him this whole time, then we find him, and then he dies. Okay, I get it.
Spoilers.
I mean, I honestly, Stories 2. You're not gonna play it. Don't even try that with me. Don't even. You.
Oh yeah, there's no way I'm ever gonna play it again. But I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the movie Tremors?
Yes, I know of it. I've never watched it.
No, Chance. You know the movie Tremors?
The ground shakes.
No, the graboids, the worms.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, like 2 or 3 of those just like gang up on Guardian Ratha in midair, and it like shifts to harsh black and white silhouette as he just gets like devoured.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to me like, why? Just not ready for that at all.
It's true.
I was like, we're totally gonna be caught and swooshed, and then we're gonna fireball. Oh nope, we got saved, but our friend died pretty horribly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Okay. Biggest letdown, Chance.
I think his name's Malfestio. The Sleepy Time Owl.
Yeah.
I just think he's super neat. He just never had a health pool to be a serious confrontation. Like if he was a later tier monster, I think he'd have been so much more interesting. Because he had like the confusion and like I just think he's a really cool monster, but
he's status
not
effect.
having that backbone of having a bunch of health to actually make the fight meaningful just made it feel kind of hollow.
Right, he's status effect monster.
Now that you say that, I think they should have also enhanced the confusion for G rank and messed up your button inputs. So like instead of have what is it, square be your unsheath button or your sheath button, it's your unsheath and attack, and then your X or Y or all these different controls.
Basically flip some more controls than just directional movement.
Instead of Y for sheath.
So switch your buttons as well as switch your attack buttons as well as your movement buttons. Gotcha.
Well, and your evasion and secondary attack too.
Yeah, I get you. I get the face. They're usually referred to as face buttons for general things. So switch face buttons as well as directional buttons. Okay.
Just really, really mess with it.
Okay. Biggest letdown for me. Oh. It's a good answer.
Crown hunting and Rise.
You know what? I think that might be the answer because I was excited to start that, and the amount of research and time I had to do just to get a system to get that going, even though I enjoyed it. So yeah, crown hunting is a wonderful answer. Because to be honest, Ace, I already knew that Safi Jiva was a crap show the moment they announced it, because they announced those mechanics as well. those weapons and stuff.
Mhm.
So I knew going into Safi Jiva that I was not happy about it.
That I would contrast. What about Alatreon?
I was excited for Alatreon, and I enjoyed Alatreon. I was not okay with the Eschaton Judgment, and I'm still not, but I don't think it makes the fight. It hurts the fight, yes, but I don't think that it kills it for me, if that makes sense. So
Right.
I don't think it would qualify as my biggest letdown. Yeah. Chat, remembering that I had hunted 200 great boggies. Yes.
232.
232 is right. Yeah.
There for at least 200 of them.
Congratulations. You wiped out a species of monster. How do you feel?
That'd be a horrible mechanic. Like,
they're just
if you'd actually
never
hunted
fight
enough,
them.
you can't find them again.
Ugh.
Then you have to go like to another world to see them. You have to like someone else has to post the quest.
Well, that's the funny thing is like there's always the critique of like Monster Hunter, how you're just like destroying these monsters, and then you get to like the spin-off that is stories and stories too, and you've just like wiped out several dozen ecosystems worth of monsters and small monsters, and it's like, I still need to get to 100. Let's do a couple more.
Yeah. And I mean, but like I always say, canonically, only the checkmark fights, the one that you first do the quest, count. Anything that you do after that is not canonical. So you are not killing hundreds of monsters. You are killing at most 5 of the same species. But yeah, it is a cognitive dissonance that we allow as gamers. So excited to try eventually. This could be a monster or a game, I believe, as well. But everything after this is only games.
I don't know, because I mean I've pretty much tried everything in the series except for like the first game.
Well, is there
So-
like a monster that you would like to try in Frontier? Or are you excited to try?
Kurobashima. Theoretically, other monsters from there too. Yeah.
Or you could be just excited to try Sunbreak. Like a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, always.
So, Sunbreak. Chance.
Vampire
Sure.
Dragon.
Sunbreak. Malzeno.
I like Elders. The new Elder.
Okay.
I don't have anything else really to say.
My answer is Sunbreak as well. That's a quick one. Sunbreak.
So since
We
it's a vampire dragon, do you think we're gonna get like a stake-styled weapon, like a giant wooden stake?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
That would be-
to make it look like a stake thrower
Just like
with the bow
Just
gun.
like a lance. That's just like a giant
just a giant wooden pole.
stake.
Yeah.
And then the shield could be a huge cross.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That'd be neat.
That's a wonderful idea, Ace. I love it. Okay. The good old days. So what do you consider the good old days of Monster Hunter?
Instead of a cross as the shield, just a cut in half clove of garlic.
That's definitely more on the like joke weapon side of things. for sure.
Yeah. All right, good old days of Monster Hunter. What do you feel is that?
Freedom Unite.
All right, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Chance? Is that what you're thinking as well?
I mean, I guess I would have to go. I don't know. I think I really only draw the line of like what feels different of when we had area transitions, just like moving what's basically just World and Rise.
Mm-hmm. So the
That's
good
not
old
the
days.
good old days.
So Generations Ultimate then?
That and back, like, because it's just a different game, like, design philosophy. There was this method of like, oh no, I'm in really, really big danger, I'm going to area transition to heal up or something. Like, that is like, that change is the only thing to me that is the big, like, big change.
Sure.
Also, I would say monster designs and behavior. Because
Okay.
in between Freedom Unite and 3 Ultimate, like just looking at the flagship alone, Rathalos went through a pretty significant upgrade in terms of like his movement and attacks, and then also his visuals. Because I think I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it on the show before, but his aerial attacks in Freedom Unite could be spoofed a couple of times to where he messes up and he's literally leaning sideways,
Yeah.
flying,
Yeah.
where you could literally break him out of it, but you can't do that in 3 Ultimate that I've seen.
Yeah. All right. So Generations Ultimate. Honestly, I am very much about progress. I want to see progress. So I don't. This question does nothing for me personally. Um, I don't reminisce about past Monster Hunters as far as like, oh, I super want to play them. I reminisce about monsters, things that we missed, maybe some mechanics that we lost, but like honestly, I'm very much about again progress of the series. But I will say, in spirit of just trying to answer the question, I'll agree with Chance on Generations Ultimate because it is the pinnacle of the old style Monster Hunter, and that's what I will say for that. Even though I very much enjoy new style Monster Hunter, so Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, best story in a Monster Hunter game. Ace.
I say probably 4 Ultimate.
For you. All right.
I like the idea behind the unidentified plague being caused by a monster that threatens the whole world.
Yeah, it's essentially the
As
story of what happens with an invasive species with a disease that nothing has a resistance to.
Mhm.
Essentially. Yep.
I like it a little bit better than the Revenge Against the Tigrex story that was Freedom Unite and
Yeah,
Freedom 2.
true.
I did like the idea of the Elder Crossing behind World and Iceborne too,
Sure.
though, I have to say.
They definitely attempted a story in that one, for sure.
Mhm.
Chance?
I'm gonna have to say World/Iceborne because I feel like the older games really didn't story you. I could avoid it, whereas World felt like it dragged me through the glass and said, "Here's the freaking story. Listen." And I just like its story a little better than Rise because I didn't enjoy the done of the Quest Maiden twins being like psychically connected to Narwa and Ibushi. Like I just thought that was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on Ace for you. I like, as someone who enjoys ecology quite a bit and monsters and behavior, the idea of an invasive species being a story plot, a very big part of it, was really cool to me. So yeah, Mr. Steve slash Seregios as the invasive species infected by a plague. Um, awesome story and best so far.
Yeah, that that cinematic with the Guild Knights in its nest.
Yes.
That was one of the few cinematics that gave me chills in the series.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a couple that do for me, but yeah,
Mhm.
that's a big one. Okay. Best monster roster.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we would all agree that Generations Ultimate would be the top tier, cream of the cream.
The most
Cream
is
of the
the
crop.
best. I actually really enjoy Autocall also. Like,
Hmm.
kind of.
The sweet misery that was what is it, G5 Arzuros, Red Helm Arzuros, the murder mittens.
Yep. I had to think about it, but I agree. I waited because I had to think about it. Yeah, just what 94 monsters? I think I counted the last time I looked. 94
Mhm.
Does that
monsters.
count the deviants?
It does. The deviants. I love the deviant fights. Bloodbath Diablos. I mean, how can I not love it? It's my favorite monster. Then
Yeah, and I was gonna say earlier, the armor is one of the standouts too with Bloodbath.
yeah. Um, Sadly, we still didn't finish getting all the deviants before we were done playing it for a while when we played it with Morg and you. Um,
That's okay. We can always cycle back, go back
and
and
yes,
get that
Chance is very
sweet ass
resistant
paddling.
to cycling back on a lot of things, but I am still trying to get through my giant gaming backlog personally.
I'm a very rip off the band-aid kind of person. I just don't have motivation to go back to something if I drop it for whatever reason.
It's
Like,
okay.
I loved the concept of the game Astral Chain. I basically only ever got an hour in because we changed our pattern of how we did gaming stuff. So the time of the day I planned to play it got changed. So I just didn't play it.
Yep.
It's okay. It's okay, Fort. I'll drag you and others back in to get that sweet foghorn leghorn paddling.
Eventually, yes. If when I get through my backlog, I will certainly hit you up for that. I'm not. I don't have a lot of doubts about that, but unfortunately, I still have my giant backlog, which I did eliminate a game. I did try Hell Warders, and then put it down after 15 minutes and moved on. It
All right then.
was not good. Not good game. Um, Best combat.
Probably would put it between Generations, Iceborne, and Rise because they're all really fluid for me.
Okay, it's a three of them, three-way tie.
Hmm.
GU,
Yeah, and
IB,
I can pretty
and
decently
Rise.
switch between all three of them.
I mean, it all is Monster
And
Hunter, but they all have very different styles. All three of them.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't think we want to go super into detail on this one. Because most of us who are Monster Hunter fans know how these games work. Those who haven't played Monster Hunter, it'd be a lot to explain the differences between these three games, but essentially, old style, new style, and then a refinement of new style with extra movement options is essentially what Ace just said. And yeah, that's not a good way to put it. Getting into the mechanics would be another hour.
I would I would say Generations is more old style with
Right.
the inklings of new style.
Right. It's starting to go new style because we have hunter arts and things that weren't in the old style. Yeah. We're starting to get hunter arts.
Hmm.
We're starting to get more combat options in Generations Ultimate. Whereas something like 4U was the last game to just be quote unquote boots on the ground combat, as they used to say in Call of Duty. It's just
Hmm.
the way the game played. um, Best combat chance.
Try,
Try.
because for me, the biggest advent was playing Sword and
Wait.
Shield and being able to knock something out finally,
I
giving
have,
you those shield bash attacks.
I have a little idea. There we go. A little heart for the eye. Try.
Water combat was neat, but it's just more of your basic combat. Getting more options was kind of cool because you also got that like great sword got that sideways slap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the impact damage that was just here. Take the side of the blade, bop. Yeah. Okay. Try water combat. Again, I questioned when we talked about this earlier. I was like, why not 3 ultimate? And you're like, because I played more try. I was like, okay, fair.
Well,
Fair
this is
enough.
also when it started. Like, there
Yeah.
might be differences, but this stands out to me more because I felt like we played one and then we played the PSP titles, and those just felt like
The same.
natural progression.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, okay, here's a new functional piece
Yes.
that's not some comical strapping your shield to your head and running around like a turkey or something. Like, it felt like a logical progression to having more options.
Right. I will say for my answer, this isn't a game where combat, gameplay, all of it has been king for me. Starting from game 1, I felt that the combat was superb, even though it is considered quite janky today. But my absolute favorite combat is Rise, and the wire bug is a big part of that. And
Mm-hmm.
I love it for the greatsword. I love that it really covers up for slow weapons. You can get out of the way. You can super sheath. You can all sorts of stuff where you have mobility options. Um, and everything in Rise sort of refines sort of like a faster style, but it's still calculated style of play. You still can't just go ham without thinking about what you're doing. You're still calculating your attacks. You're still executing your attacks, and you're not button mashing, and it's faster, and it's getting faster, and I love it. So,
Yeah, freedom of movement is always a big plus.
yep. So we are to the ultimate question: current favorite Monster Hunter game. Ace. Is it Freedom Unite?
I mean, so far, none of the games have really steered me wrong or disappointed me, even like the spin-offs.
Uh huh.
So like, really, just the whole series has been enjoyable for me.
Okay, but there is a best one in the series. You got to answer this one. Can't cop out. Come on, pick one. I get it. They all have their own flavors, their own things to like. I agree with you. But there is a favorite in there somewhere. Like if you were saying, hey, let's play some Monster Hunter, what's the one you're excited to play the most right now?
See, that's the thing though, because I could literally do pretty much any of them except for Freedom
Sure.
Unite, I think, because I
But
don't
you
know
can
if
only
the
play one at a time, right? You can't play 2 games. Like you can't PSP while you're playing Switch on the TV. Which
oh,
one?
I'll find a way.
Okay, but
I'll figure out how to.
which one do you pick up? Come on.
Probably Rise,
Okay. All right.
just because it's sort of the culmination of the evolution of the series as a whole,
Yep. I get you.
as it stands, as every new game essentially is.
Yeah. Chance, current favorite Monster Hunter.
Generations Ultimate, because I want to be the cat.
Yep. I knew that was coming. And mine is Rise. Combat. Love the monsters. Want to see more. And when Sunbreak comes out, I'm pretty much sure that answer is going to be Sunbreak. Because it's Rise plus more. So there we go. That is what we stole. I actually had a fun story today to tell you, Ace. Chance knows about this one.
Oh.
So, you know, I've been single for a long time, obviously. So I've had various dating profiles, and for the first time in the history of me having a dating profile, I have nearly always had the same slogan at the start of that dating profile. It says, Rathalos seeking Rathian.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in like 3 years, someone actually responded with great Monster Hunter reference or any acknowledgement of that thing at all. So that was
Nice.
that was a high point for me. I was like, that's some brownie points. That is some serious brownie points for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one until like a couple days ago responded anything with that quote. Because I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
funny to say Rathal is seeking Rathian, but you know, just no one even acknowledged it. Nothing. No one even said anything about it for years, and then someone finally did. So I thought it was cool. Um, so thing we're gonna do next week is we're actually gonna go back into gaming news with Sasha coming back. I don't know if we're gonna recruit Chauncey again. I don't think so. He might be like, I'm out playing board games. He's shaking his head. Um. So yeah, that was so anything else like we want to talk about on this list today or call it a night? We're at a pretty solid episode. I think us speeding it up helped though.
Apparently, a new Subnautica game is in development.
Ooh. I know you like that. I watched Jacksepticeye play a lot of it on a Let's
Mm-hmm.
Play, but I never really got into it myself.
Mm. I would say of the two that are out, Below Zero is probably more accessible and a little more newcomer friendly.
I thought
If
Below
you
Zero
have
was
sort of
just an
the
expansion. I didn't know it was a
nope,
different game.
it's a separate game.
Oh, okay. Well, it shows you how much I knew about that one.
Yeah, totally different environment because it also adds in cold feature. So you either have to tactfully navigate between environments that are heated, like your houses, or you have to have the proper equipment, or you will start to freeze. In addition to uh, dehydrate and or starve to death.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I just thought it was like an expansion, but okay. Awesome. I will say, the game that I got the girls into, Monster Sanctuary. If anyone is interested in a Pokemon slash Metroidvania, where your opening of different pathways and getting through the map is based on which monsters you catch. Because different monsters have different overworld abilities to get you through stuff, and it's actually really fun. I've been quite enjoying it. It's a very interesting battle system. It actually cares about your placement, almost. Not quite, but it's a simpler like Darkest Dungeon, where you care about placement, that kind of thing. Except you still select who you're attacking. It's not like you can only do this attack in this position, but like your positions do matter on who goes first and like buffs and stuff. So it's an interesting, a little bit of an intricate like Pokemon battle system, mixed with, and you always have three. You always have three out, um, mixed with like a Metroidvania sort of overworld progression, 2D platforming. It's very, very interesting. So it's a good game. I haven't finished it yet, but the girls and I played that instead of Kirby today. But we do plan on finishing Kirby hopefully soonish, because I'd like to get Kirby done. Not that I need it off my backlog. I just reserved that to play with the girls, but I have now given myself 2 games to play with the girls, and I kind of don't like starting one without finishing the other, but that's kind of what happened.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I'm currently voyaging through the Lego Star Wars saga.
yeah, I've seen some stuff about that. I saw when you got the
Yeah,
frozen carbonite, and I made the joke is like, why did it take so long? Because it was frozen in carbonite.
um there's also apparently, I don't know if they've patched it yet or if they are going to remove it, the infinite Mando glitch
Okay, you'll.
in the game. I don't know if you've seen
No,
that.
I've never heard of it.
Because
Infinite
the
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian,
Uh-huh.
the Mandalorian is a character that you can purchase. But when you spawn him in, a little Grogu in his floating pod spawns in too,
Uh-huh.
and you can go and switch over to him, and then you could switch to another Mando. And there are clips out there of people who have done this, and there's like an army of like 20 to 40 Mandos just on the screen. So theoretically, you could just keep going and going and going until the game crashes.
Oh, so you switch Grogu to the Mando,
Yeah,
which is like an extra
it
party
spawns in another
member,
one.
which spawns a Grogu, which you can switch to a Mando. Oh, I see where you're going with that. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, do you remember how in Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, there was the
Pause jumping?
Knuckles jump glitch? Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a similar thing that people have discovered.
Oh,
Where
no.
if you beat the shit out of young Anakin Skywalker, because the game doesn't allow you to kill children,
Oh, no.
you can actually melee him into the air and use the continuous attack combos to cover large distances. So, like, if you're trying to get from, like, one cliffside to the other, apparently you can combo this and get across. I have not done it or tried it yet, but I will say that is hilarious.
Oh my gosh, you just beat up kid Anakin as like a travel mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh man. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh, apparently chat is saying the Knuckles jump got patched out, but I mean, yeah, it was a thing. It was ridiculous for a while. But yeah, it did get popular because of Game Grumps.
And another callback to Team 4-Star. We here at Team 4-Star do not condone child violence. We do, however, found it hilarious.
Yes. Oh man. Okay. Well, I think that covers us for tonight. I know Chance has mostly just been focusing on Wonderlands with me. So, yeah, we have more to talk about that on Bickering Bucks. But
And you too can hear how to cheat all the lucky dice.
yeah, we'll get it. We've had people look up the lucky dice while we're playing, and it's been kind of frustrating.
No, I was talking about being able to melee through objects and stuff.
Oh, yeah, he found a sword that like when you melee, it shoots out a wave like in Zelda. And he was able to cheat hitting lucky dice with it. They're like out of reach and like behind like walls, like behind these like walls that are like
because
force
most
fields.
Interact with objects.
Yeah.
Melee is an acceptable alternative to interact with it. So it is processing like you're meleeing it. So you can see something like, I don't know how to get there. Sword wave. Cool, I've triggered it. That's good enough to collect it.
And
Yeah.
for chat, you can
Similar.
see the wonderful, terribly scribble writing of all of our answers on our Monster Hunter grid. I figured this was a good thing to do other than just posting my answers on Twitter. And I can save this and just post this garbage fire of a written thing in.
Yeah. I will say also in Lego Star Wars, I've been trying to circumvent the hindrances by not having certain like abilities and characters unlocked yet. Because there's already like a list of codes for a few vehicles and characters that you can get in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been using the characters that I got from that to try and circumvent getting certain collectibles that I otherwise would not be able to get if I didn't
Sure.
have those.
Okay. That makes sense. So are you just playing by yourself? Or are you playing with Jack or anybody?
Uh, just by myself for right now.
Okay.
Although it does do
Co-op.
1 to 2 players, so
Yeah.
we'll see if he wants to play.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that covers us for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We had a good turnout on the Twitch today. Best in a while. Thank you. And then we will be. Where am I going? What am I doing? What am I trying to figure out? All right. Anyways, but I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. This is Fortuan at Hunters Hub Pod on Twitter. If you want to see more about the shows and updates, look forward to later this month us talking about Tiny Tina and Bickering Bucks. Next week we'll be talking about gaming news. And the week after that will be our sort of like list episode, which I may steal the original version of this thing and sort of do another episode like this, Ace, with Sasha for there's like a general gaming one that has different questions on it. I think would be kind of cool. What? Were you laughing at something?
Yeah, I just pulled up Twitter and
Oh,
someone posted a picture of their local KFC sign.
oh no.
The lettering reads, "Our spicy chicken sandwich hits harder than Will Smith."
Oh.
Womp womp.
And then KFC was banned from the Oscars. Oh well.
Oh boy.
All right. Chance, he can be reached on our Discord if you're wanting to reach out to him about something. Ace at Ace Badger Gaming on Twitter and also on the Discord. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And we'll talk to you next week. Later.
Bye bye.
Got to find the button again.